Hey everyone, it's Mike from Wichita. I've got a little bit of reflection time I wanted to share with you all today and maybe get some thoughts and feedback on it. So, I was on the treadmill gym recently, and I was kind of wondering how I got to this point. Now, when I'm on the treadmill, I do a lot of thinking or cardio. I mostly just do treadmill now. When I was younger, I would do different, stairmasters and those type of things. But I just find the treadmill seems a lot more sustainable for me. And obviously, you don't have to work as hard if you're not running, if you're just sitting there pacing along. So that's something I probably need to work on, is get a little more serious on that. But I also, I don't wear headphones when I go to the gym or I do cardio, and I don't, read a book or anything like that. And so a lot of times it's just kind of staring at the overhead TVs, and a lot of thoughts just kind of run through my mind. And the thought I had recently was just, how did I get to this point in, working out and lifting? Kind of what I mean by that is, there's just so many programs out there, so many websites, so many magazine articles, so many YouTube channels where people are, sharing, some might say preaching the latest, trend in strength programs or lifting programs or those type of things. And I guess that's probably good overall. The fact that, it continues, strength building and lifting and fitness continues to evolve. But I think it's tough to sometimes, hear through the noise. And as a hobby lifter, I think it's even easier if to get buried in the weeds. Sometimes when you go to the gym, you'll see people with notebooks and writing down different calculations and keeping track of things. And I think that's perfectly fine. There's people that, learn differently, keep track of things differently, and just do things differently. I personally do not like that approach. There's the science-based lifters, there's all those different ones like that. So, but my goal is just the sustainability and consistency of, repeatedly going to the gym over time. Now, clearly that's a lot different than a professional athlete or professional strength trainers or, some of these bodybuilders that are extremely disciplined, and they're on a program and they've got a specific goal in mind. And so they've really got to watch their calorie intake and, what they eat, and their fitness times and everything like that, and what they're lifting and when they're lifting, and everything. I'm a hobby lifter, so I'm just kind of in it for the love of the game. You might be able to say a weekend warrior. I just like to keep it simple, and I will, eventually, maybe some of the later videos, talk about how my actual schedule looks like when it comes to weightlifting and cardio. But my overall philosophy, and this is probably going to sound a little, dopey, but it came from a Planet Fitness commercial. I don't know if you remember, about 15 years ago, I believe they had they had a good run of some commercials when they were really trying to expand across the United States. And one of their commercials was of the body builder. This guy, he's got the fanny pack, he's got the glasses, he's got the gallon jug of something he's drinking, and he's in the shorts, and he's got the shirt, unbuttoned shirt and everything like that. And he's on the tour of the Planet Fitness. This is in the commercial, and he's on the tour, and the guy's walking around showing different things, and the rep is trying to make conversation with him. And the only answer that he gets on every question is that the bodybuilder, he lifts things up and he puts them down. And I've just always thought that was first of all, I thought it was really good, just writing on the commercial to begin with. But it also kind of just summarized for me, that yes, it's just about keeping it simple. As a hobby lifter, you go lift the weights and then you put them down. And so that mentality has just really stuck with me for the last 15 years, is that if I'm just lifting the weights, heavier weights. Obviously, I do like to increase the weights, as we go along. Then then we'll get somewhere. And I don't know if that was the actual routine, but unfortunately, I do end up showing the guy at the door. The rep is leads him out the door and shuts the door on him. So if you ever get to see that video, it's on YouTube. It's pretty good. But I think there's just a lot to take from it, that it's really that simple. As a hobby lifter, as the weekend warrior, if you just want to improve yourself, which is what I want to do, then yeah, I just need to go lift the weights and put them down, and the rest will kind of just figure itself out. Now, will that prepare me to run a marathon or go tackle, a wide receiver in the NFL? No. But I was never going to do that to begin with. Even if I was on some type of strict diet or anything like that, I think this chance is very, very slim of ever being able to accomplish those goals. So, like I've said 100 times now in some of my videos, I just really am focused on the sustainability and the continuation of working out and lifting. That's just something I've really struggled with over the decades, as it just kind of comes and goes in these waves. And so my focus is really just coming up with ways to maintain going to the gym, to staying constant, to have a healthy weight and everything that goes with it. Unfortunately, to get to that, though, you've got to kind of go through this early stage, this initial startup stage or restart stage for me. And that's always the challenge, is to just kind of get that healthy habit back. Yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on that. I don't know if anybody else kind of lives by that mantra when it comes to the gym. Just keep it simple, lift the heavy weights and put them down. I think, a lot of times too, it's like that saying with finance where people are like, oh, finance is personal. Well, I mean, I really think your fitness goals are personal, and they're the same way too. Um, and you'll get there. We'll get there. It's just, gonna keep it simple. Gonna keep it simple. So, all right, if you're off to lift today, have a great lift. If you're going to do some cardio, have a great cardio session. If it's your rest day, have a great rest day. And we'll look forward to talking with you down the road.